peace workers of the world unite?
Well, no, I'd say I'll just sum it up is that, the idea, there isn't any, I think because we don't have, like, any full admission, like, entirely, that the CIA is a left-wing operation as well as a, quasi-right-wing operation.
Mm-hmm.
Because we still operate in the world where they're still using that, left cover or the right cover.
Right.
So anytime you bring up something like, hey, there might be this left-wing alternative lifestyle culture creation in left-wing media, because the left always thinks that they're anti-CIA.
Right.
Like like how you were saying, they will point to something like, perfect example is something that we've traded articles about for years is like something like Covert action.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, that's a left-wing magazine.
Right.
So
yeah.
But they're pointing out the stuff that's going on as long as it has this kind of like it's implying that the CIA is this right-wing organization fighting, the Sandinistas or whatever in the 80s.
Well, there's actually an article making your point that I've been sharing for a while now. It's called CIA and the Dialectic of Power. It's the American Affairs Journal, and it's basically admitting everything that John is saying from a kind of a policy, international relations perspective. It's pointing out that the CIA was never right wing; it was just anti-Soviet, and so they always promoted and were the vanguard of the left liberalism and ultimately Fabian socialism. That's what people don't understand, is that the CIA was founded by, when it was the OSS, all people who were self-identified CFR Fabian socialists. So it's never been a quote right-wing organization, even if at times they fought the Soviets. And people have just always fallen for this. It's really just a kind of a cover that's used, as John is pointing out.
So and the academia, like the left-wing academia, even if somebody is a professor at some university or something, they might not be a actual CIA agent, but that's all of this. Like all of that stuff is promoted by front groups and NGOs. In America, it's not just abroad.
Right.
Here too, all of the cultural stuff, the Skittles and alternative lifestyles, that all started, way back in the 70s and 80s and 90s, and it's all coming out of the institutions, not even just academia, but art and music and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's it's not just, the right-wing Nazis have, taken over some small South American country again. It's like, no, the leftism is promoted here by the institutions.
Yeah, in fact, when the Soviets adopted, for example, a public anti-homosexuality position, the CIA capitalized on this during the Cold War to be, we represent freedom. So we're, pro-Skittles, pro all that.
They told them all to come here.
If you listen to Yuri Bezmenov, if you listen to the full talks, when he's talking to, I think, G. Edward Griffin, he eventually says, the Soviets are evil because they stopped and hate the gay people. It's like, I thought Yuri was like based and right wing, and then he's over here talking about how we need more of the gay parades in Ukraine or whatever. So let me read this that perfectly illustrates what John's talking about from this American Affairs Journal. The CIA and the New Left. The CIA was heavily invested in mid-20th century art and cultural productions through the Congress for Cultural Freedom. It was involved in the non-communist left more broadly, much to the chagrin of the conservatives of this time. The CCF's tendrils were seemingly endless, even reaching into preeminent post-colonial writer Derek Walcott. The CIA was consistent in its anti-communism, but it was never conservative. Feminist Gloria Steinem went so far as to characterize the CIA as a liberal, nonviolent, and honorable institution. Steinem would know because she admitted to working with the CIA through the front organization called Independent Research Service. The CIA's Harry Loon encouraged her to become the face of the organization, sending her to lead a group which would disrupt the proceedings at the Marxist Vienna Youth Festival in 1959 and later to Helsinki in 1962. These affiliations were hardly a problem for Gloria Steinem on the left. She long served as an honorary chair of Democratic Socialists of America until such positions were abolished in 2017. So notice DSA, again, long time connected to the CIA. And that's why people don't understand that, like, the CIA is not left wing or right wing. It's a moneyed, power-based institution. It's not about ideology, although it kind of is about ideology, because in the long term, it's ultimately a technocratic Fabian socialist institution. The DSA officially condemned Steinem a year later in 2018 for not being a CIA agent, but actually insinuating that women supported Bernie Sanders over Hillary because Bernie was a man. I mean, this is so stupid. So yeah, like all of this, all of this leftist, like trans race stuff being hyped up, that's all promoted by the CIA. I mean, they actually cheer on the fact that they're like hiring transgender intelligence operatives and analysts. So it's like, there's nothing right wing about this at all. In addition to the education and law, many new academics who placed a premium on diversity, they would actually find work in various areas, which, as Bruce Cunnings pointed out, were a pet project of Bill Donovan. So diversity promoted by Tradcat Roman Catholic Bill Donovan. Interesting. I thought he was a Tradcat. And then this author goes on to point out how the CIA has been a vanguard of hiring Skittles, hiring all of the worst things you could imagine. In fact, today's Humans of the CIA advertisement features gay librarians. You can even see a gay rainbow flag on CIA Director John Brennard's lanyard. Oh, wow. It's moving. It's so moving. Oh, this is interesting. In 1985, at the height of the moral majority power, decades before a 30-something CIA agent would call herself cisgender in recruitment videos, an internal CIA report expressed great hope in France's new philosophers, including Michel Foucault. This is what I told you. CIA made alliances with the deconstructionists and the postmodernists. They thought that Foucault's theories would help form the basis of an emerging new academic field called queer studies, queer theory, pioneered by pioneering terms like cisgender. So you can thank the 1980s CIA for the term cisgendered and queer studies pioneering. Even though it was Foucault, the CIA was a big supporter of Foucault's queer theory. Dr. John, what's up?